Hello everybody and welcome back to Myrrh Tree's Feel Good Friday. This week it's been pretty eventful. We're another week closer to the end of lockdown, but anyway, let's jump into this week's positive news. So once again, we're starting off with a video recommendation this week, which comes from the YouTube channel of Boston Dynamics. Now, if you're worried that robots will one day take over your job or your life or even the world, well, firstly, stop being stupid. But Boston Dynamics are a fantastic YouTube channel. They are a company that showcase their new robots on their channel. Now, this new robot is called Stretch, and he is fantastic. The Boston Dynamics people have been creating robots for years, and they are constantly getting better at developing them. They work quite close with Adam Savage, that guy that used to work on Mythbusters, and they end up making robots that are, well, they can almost do anything. They can help people in the military, or they can help people with disabilities. These robots have so much promise for the future, and I'd strongly recommend watching their new YouTube video, which introduces their latest invention, Stretch the Robot. So, moving on from robots, this week there was a great VT on Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. If you're a fan of the Saturday Night TV show, the nation's favourite presenters, Dec, well, they had a genius idea last week to get ITV presenters to do dares live on air. The co-presenter, Stephen Mulhern, he ended up going into a bunch of ITV studios where they were filming live shows, so This Morning, Loose Women, Good Morning Britain, you know that show where that old man stormed off because he couldn't say his opinion about Meghan Markle? Yeah, that one. Well, Stephen Mulhern went onto these shows with cards and they had phrases on them. The presenters then had to say these phrases in order to get a point. I won't say who won, but the video is absolutely hysterical. The bit with This Morning with Holly and Phil is just genius. I'd strongly recommend going to go watch it. A really good, feel-good video. If you haven't seen it and you want to laugh, I would strongly recommend it. Now, it's usually this point I would say it's time for our Twitter account of the week, but unfortunately this week it's been blocked. No, wait, hang on. No, the Suez Canal was blocked. Sorry. Yes, a few days ago, in case you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the Suez Canal was blocked by a gigantic ship. Good news is that it's now been freed, so in case you are unaware, this ship got stuck. It was a pretty big disaster. It's taken them a week to free the ship, but it's now been free, so the ships can now go in and out of this transport canal, delivering goods. So if you're worried about your packet of crisps or just, you know, your general hobnobs, if they're not arrived in the shop just yet, they're probably on their way. It's okay, it's all been moved now. It's, you know, making the best out of a pretty ship situation. And next up, we've got an article from the University of London, who've done a fantastic study back in February that says boys who play video games have a lower depression risk. So the research shows that boys who regularly play video games at the age of around 11 are less likely to develop depressive symptoms 3 years later. Now, obviously they cannot confirm whether playing video games actually improves mental health, but it doesn't appear to actually harm it. Studies have found that it could in fact be beneficial, particularly during the pandemic. Video games have been an important social media platform for young people. I know for one, I've been communicating a lot more with my friends during the pandemic on video games. It's been fantastic. Watch parties have been great too. But this study goes on to say that in Sweden and Australia, they reviewed data from over 11,000 children who were part of the Millennium Cohort study, and they found that with these children, 24% of them had fewer depressive symptoms 3 years later. The boys that played video games, that was, to the ones that didn't. So I'll leave the article down below if you want to go and read it and, you know, dissect a lot of the facts and the juices and the meat off the bone from this wonderful article. Really, really interesting. Yeah, I'll leave a link to that down below. And I think that's pretty much it for the news. Oh, wait, no, there is more news, actually, before I go on to our Song of the Week. There was big news in sport, wasn't there? The rugby. The Wales won the Six Nations. We don't care about that. Lewis Hamilton won the start of the F1 2020 season, which is much more important news and much more relevant. Absolutely fantastic race from Lewis, once again proving why he is the best 7-time British World Championship driver, proving himself worthy of that seat by winning by less than a second. Is this season going to continue to be epic and close? I'm sure it will be. It'll be more entertaining than watching an egg roll about on a field, that's for sure. So our Song of the Week this week is called Rugby is No, that's wrong. Our Song of the Week this week isn't Rugby's Rubbish. It's actually a throwback to an old pop band who've recently made a big comeback in recent years. That would be McFly. They've got a new song out called You're Not Special, which is a single from their latest album. Now, despite the negative connotations around the title, it's actually a really lovely, laid-back modern pop song. Gone are the days with colours in your hair. This new song is very fitting of today's chart sort of sound. really fitting, and it's just another great song from a great band. I love McFly. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Once again, I'm going to leave this song play out the video. All links to the videos and recommendations will be in the description down below. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm usually here every Friday giving you some feel-good news. And yes, we'll see you guys next Friday for another installment of our Feel Good show. And in case you missed it, we have a podcast out now. First episode went live last week. If you haven't listened to it yet, go and give the pilot a listen. We've got another one of those coming out soon, talking about the education system. So if that sounds like it'll interest you, make sure to give this channel a subscribe and a like. But until then, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.